So today we are honored to have a fantastic guest speaker. We have Donald Cooper with us, and he's going to show you how to redefine your business to create and deliver compelling customer value and experiences that will grab your target customers, clearly differentiate you from your competitors, make you famous, and grow your bottom line. So I'll introduce our expert in a moment for the presentation, after which he's going to proceed. We'll proceed directly to a Q&A. So to submit a question, at the bottom of your screen is a Q&A button. Please put your questions in the Q&A rather than the chat, because then they're all in order, much easier for us to answer them. If you do want to chat or ask questions of me in between, please feel free to do that. I'll read the questions and direct them to Donald as we go along and try to make some sense of that. Donald's agreed to stay on after the Zoom today until at least 11:15 to answer any questions that you may have. So don't be shy. He's here to answer questions. And this is Donald's first Zoom, so we need to be gentle. Give him a little. It's the number one. We're all experts at it, but Donald's first crack at it. So without getting too much into this, Donald Cooper transforms businesses and business people. He's helped thousands of companies throughout the world to add more value or real value to their customers' lives and more dollars to their bottom line. Donald started his business career at age 6, sweeping the floor in the family business for 5 cents a day. Long days, low pay, but excellent training for an entrepreneur. Sounds similar to my McDonald's career earlier on. At any rate, he earned an MBA from the University of Western Ontario back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, followed by 18 years at Cooper Canada, the family business. I was going to bring in one of my Cooper helmets from way back when, but I couldn't find it, unfortunately. It's somewhere in my old hockey bag. Anyways, Cooper Canada became the world's leading maker of hockey equipment and a Canadian brand icon. So if you grew up playing sports in Canada like I did, you probably had Donald's last name on some part of your body. At age 43, Donald left the family business to do some less corporate work and reinvented himself as an award-winning fashion retailer. In just 3 years, he fundamentally redefined customers' experience, for which he received 7 awards of excellence for marketing, service, and business innovation. So drawing from his life experience as a world-class manufacturer, retailer, and business coach, Donald now helps companies rethink and reinvent themselves, creating compelling customer value, clarity of purpose, and long-term profitability. For his unique business content and compelling presentation style, Donald has been inducted into the Canadian Speaking Hall of Fame. His insights into how to sell more, manage smarter, and grow your bottom line will inform you, challenge you, disturb you, inspire you, and leave you with a new and powerful understanding of how your business, your customers, and your life. Please welcome Donald Cooper. So,
thank you, Paul.
Donald, this is where we do the share bit.
This is where we do the share screen here, the Zoom version. Okay, there we go. Yes, this is my first Zoom session. I have done 3,500 live sessions and boot camps around the world, and I have been dragged kicking and screaming into the 21st century. So welcome all you Barrie business folks. Our topic today is, oh, that's reality check. We don't want that one. We want, why are we not going backwards? Well, anyway, the title is already what Paul told you, and first technical glitch. So how many of you have downloaded the handout? We call it an implementation guide because that sounds a whole lot classier than a handout. So I hope that most of you have done so. And that is the cover, just to remind you of what you're missing if you didn't. And so here's what folks find works for them. You will see that the implementation guide is the slides, of which this is number 2 because number 1 has disappeared. So the implementation guide is the slides, and there's a space beside each slide for what we call keepers. Keepers are any thoughts or ideas that you have in our 40 or so minutes together that could help you grow your business or your life. It's a keeper. Make a quick note in the keeper section. And then if there are any specific slides that you want to ask me a question about, or you want to think about later after this session is over, or discuss with your team, what a lot of folks do is they take a pen and they circle the key most important slides for them so that they can easily identify those later on. So this is your implementation guide, and that's it. I always start off with reality checks in all of my sessions. I have a sign here on my office wall that says, the beginning of wisdom is the recognition of reality. The beginning of wisdom is the recognition of reality. That's a keeper. It's one of my keepers for sure, has been for years. There is no wisdom in La La Land, and denial ain't just a river in Egypt. So we do a little reality check at the beginning of every session. Your number one business challenge, this is the first reality check. Your number one business challenge is this: whatever product or service you sell, your market is overserved and under-differentiated. Your biggest problem is there are too damn many other people selling what you're selling, and you mostly look alike, sound alike, charge about the same price. And the world does not need one more mediocre anything. Now, we are out of the slide presentation. Why is that?
There you go.
You
just got to use your arrow to advance forward.
Okay, so here we are. So the world doesn't need one more mediocre anything. And here's another little thought. World class is an attitude, not a location. And some people might say, well, we don't need to be world class. We don't need to be all that extraordinary. We're in a smaller community. The fact is, we need to be world class wherever we are. And world class is an attitude, not a location. One of my favorite examples is this honeybee manufacturing in the giant community of Frontier, Saskatchewan. You've never heard of Frontier, Saskatchewan, no doubt. Population 302 souls in Frontier, Saskatchewan. But the honeybee, what a great name, honeybee manufacturing company is a world leader in high performance harvesting machinery. They employ 120 people. Think about this, 120 employees in a town of 302 people. And they have a 120,000 square foot factory. They export to 12 countries around the world out of Frontier, Saskatchewan. So world class is an attitude, not a location. Here's another reality check. The simple truth about customer loyalty. This is the biggest complaint I hear from business people all around the world. And I work in 40 industries all around the world. And so this is the number one complaint from businesses. There's no such thing as customer loyalty anymore. Apparently, God's making people differently. So if you honestly believe that there's no such thing as customer loyalty anymore, there's no point in trying to get customer loyalty because you believe it simply doesn't exist. Here's the truth. People are loyal to what's best for them or what they assume is best for them. So we all have two jobs, simple, not easy, but simple jobs. Number one, to do the work to be the clear, wise choice for your target customers. And if you're not the wise choice, why should they be loyal to you? So job number one, do the work to be the wise choice. Number two, make sure that you communicate your compelling value in everything you do, because there's no point in being the best if you're also the best kept secret. Number one, do the work. Number two, communicate your compelling value in everything you do. And that's the truth. So the question is, are you the clear, wise choice for your target customers? And do they know that? Two levels of business improvement. The bottom rectangle, where you are now. So that's wherever you are in your business right now. Level number one of business improvement is where can you be by copying the best. the best in the world at what you do. Do you even know who is the best in the world at what you do? So where could you be by copying the best to elevate your business from where it is now? You can go to 2-day seminars on benchmarking and best practices. So this is, copying the best. Benchmarking and best practices. It's a great buzzword. People love it. You can $2,000 for a 2-day seminar. Benchmarking and best practices simply means find out who does it best and copy them. They stretch that out for 2 days, charge you $2,000. There it is, for free. Step number 2 in elevating your business, growing your business, improving your business is where could you be by doing what has never been done before? Do you have the creativity and courage to do what has never been done before? There are so many business seminars about creativity and innovation, but almost nobody talks about courage. And there's no point in being creative if you are not also courageous, because you'll never have the guts to implement the cool stuff that you come up with. So we have business tools for you. As my gift to you for tuning in, my complete set of business assessment and management implementation tools. And the first one I'm going to introduce you to is Becoming the Wise Choice. And this is step-by-step tool, my tool number B10, it's right there for you, how to become the wise choice for your target customers. Now, the whole set of free business tools, you'll see a little hand-drawn green circle there and an arrow at the bottom. To access this complete set, there's about 48 of them, business tools on marketing and management and staffing and profitability, and developing clear vision for the future of your business. Here's how you access your free gift to all these business tools. www.donaldcooper.com/YFBT, which stands for your free business tools. Circle that slide to come back to, and make sure you go in, download them, and look at tool B10. Okay, let's get specific about our target customers. A couple of years ago, I was invited to go to Singapore and spend a few days with a high-end luxury hotel who wanted to offer more targeted service and value packages to their guests, their customers, in order to increase sales. Because there's about 200 high-end 5-star hotels in Singapore. If you haven't ever been to Singapore, put it on your list. It's a great place. Just don't chew gum and spit it out. You'll be whipped within an inch of your life. Anywho, other than that, really nice place. So I spent a couple of days in Singapore with these hotel owners, managers, supervisors, and I said to them, if you want to create more targeted and compelling service and value packages to differentiate your hotel, how do you define your target customers? And they said, we call them guests, just they're guests. And I said, so you lump them all together as if they're all the same. And the fact is, you will never come up with compelling targeted service and value packages or propositions for your customers if you lump them all together and think they're all the same. So we spent the first day describing the different categories of customers. Local business people who want to do what? And one of the young ladies on the management team said that local business people who want to have an affair at noontime and be back at their desk by 2 p.m. And so, well, niche market right there. But local business people who want to do what? Who want to entertain other business people, because this hotel has a very famous seafood restaurant, and seafood is a big deal in Singapore. Number two, international business people who want to do what? Who want to come to Singapore and do business. And do they just need a bed? No, they need to know how to do business in Singapore. They need to know what the culture is. If I have an appointment with a business prospect, do I bring a little token gift as a thank you for their giving me some time? Or is that thought to be a bribe and they'll never do business with me if I bring a gift? What's the culture? So there's all kinds of cultural stuff that you need to know to do business in any new country. And I said, on your website, you have no tab targeted at international business people, telling them how to do business in Singapore. Number 3, overseas shoppers who want to do what? Who want to come to Singapore and shop, but maybe they'd like to save money. So where's the tab on your website that says, we'll organize, if you come as a group, we'll organize a driver and a limo to take you around to the best shops for handbags and clothing and jewelry and whatever. And so we offer that as a service. And we have a discount book for you overseas shoppers with some of the best stores, and you can get a discount. Number 4, families who want to do what? Event planners who want to do what? To have what kind of a meeting? Brides who want to have what kind of a wedding? So by listing these different types of customers and adding the words, don't just list your different target customers, add the words who want to do what, and then fill in the blanks. Because now you don't just have a list, you have insight into what these people want, and then you can deliver compelling value packages. So here's your homework. First homework assignment. Our target customers are who want to do what? Who want to do what? That's the homework assignment. The easiest way, next slide, easiest way to increase sales is to stop pissing people off. I mean, that's just needs to be said. So here's another homework assignment for you. People hate it when businesses like ours do what? So we will do what to make sure we don't tick them off. And then number 2, people hate it when businesses like ours do what other thing. So what will we do? In my Alive and Well fashion store that I opened after we sold Cooper Canada sporting goods, women hate limit 3 items in the change room. So we put up a sign on all 50 change rooms saying, please take as many items in the change room as you wish. It made us famous. We'll talk more about Alive and Well a bit later. Another insight, as you work on creating compelling value, we need to understand what value is. And the fact that there's only 3 kinds of value. People think, oh, there's 100 kinds of value. Who could get their mind wrapped around that? Not possible. There's only 3 kinds of value: functional value, emotional value, and financial value. Functional value. Number 1, sell stuff that works. Number 2, be open and available when your customers need you. Butterball turkeys. Thanksgiving and Christmas. This is when most people buy a turkey and no other time during the year. And so for women who don't know how to cook a turkey, that's the first time for them or whatever, their mother never taught them how to cook a turkey. Butterball Turkeys has a website and a telephone hotline on Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day, where, because you don't want to phone your mother and ask her how to cook a turkey, because she's never going to let you forget that you're 35 years old and don't know how to cook a turkey, for Pete's sake. So you can talk to somebody else's mother who's hired by Butterball to be either online or on the phone, and they will coach you through how to cook your turkey. That's being the caring coach. And so be open and available when your customers need you. And with the internet and with websites, we can be open 24 hours a day, informing customers and coaching customers. Have policies that are customer friendly, not customer adverse. That's another functional value. Help people wisely choose and effectively use what you sell, another functional value. Okay, number 2 is emotional value. And people say, oh, you can't define that. You're getting way too airy-fairy here. Well, the fact is, you can define emotional value easily. It's about how they feel. We deliver emotional value when our customers say this to us: I feel better about myself and the world every time I do business with you and every time I use what I bought from you. Are you delivering emotional value? And then number 3 is financial value. It's the one everybody puts as number 1 because they think money is the only currency in people's lives? Well, people have four currencies: money, time, feeling safe, physically and emotionally safe, and feeling special. Money, time, feeling safe, and feeling special. And so money is only one of the four currencies. Financial value is this. We deliver financial value when our customers say to us, I paid a good and fair price for all of the functional and emotional value that I got from you. And if you're not delivering functional and emotional value, there's no price low enough to be good enough. One of my favorite examples about functional, emotional, and financial value is sneakers. Here we have a picture: Chuck Taylor sneakers by Converse, $49. And Chanel sneakers, $575, made in the same factory with the same $6 factory cost. And and functionally, they're the same. What's the functional value of a pair of sneakers? You put them on your feet, you walk from A to B, and at the end, your feet don't hurt too much. And so both of these sneakers will deliver the same functional value. So there had better be some huge emotional value in that Chanel sneaker, because it's $575. And here's the thing, they sell a lot of them. Next section, if you can't get specific about your compelling value, you have no value story. So what is your specific compelling value? Four things, and Paul actually talked about it in my introduction. Compelling value does these four things. Compelling value grabs your target customers, clearly differentiates you from your competitors, makes you famous, not Hollywood famous, but famous for your target customers in your target market, and that's all you care about. And it grows your bottom line. If the compelling value that you deliver isn't growing your bottom line, why are you bothering? USPs. Every marketing course, marketing textbooks, marketing seminars talk about USPs, unique selling propositions. You got to have unique selling propositions, they tell you. Well, I don't think it's good enough to be unique. So I have forgotten about USPs, unique selling propositions, not good enough. We need CPDs. We need compelling points of difference. It's not good enough to be unique. You could paint your business pink and you'd be unique, but not necessarily compelling. So we need compelling points of difference. What are your CPDs that grab your target customers, clearly differentiates you from your competitors, makes you famous, and grows your bottom line? Because if you don't have those, you are boring and mediocre. So getting specific about your value, here's a couple of examples. This 1 hour heating and air conditioning. This is an HVAC company, heating, ventilation, air conditioning company. And they're very specific about their value. In fact, it's the name of their company. 1 hour heating and air conditioning. See, they don't say they're the lowest price. They just say, hey, your toilet's overflowing or your furnace is shut down, and we're going to be there in an hour. And here's their promise. This is right on their truck, always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Now that's gutsy. That's compelling. And that's clear. Here's Absolute Clarity. This is a chain of stores in New Zealand. Absolute Clarity here. The name of the store is Cheap Liquor. No confusion here. Here's another one. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, I was driving to the airport after working with a client, and I didn't have a camera, so I mocked this up very cleverly and amateurishly on a slide. And the name of this company that I saw on the truck I was passing on my way to the airport, Tulsa Lawns of Perfection, and a phone number. So they've chosen to be perfect, not cheap, and they've built their name around that. Who would have the guts to call them and ask for a cheap quote on grass cutting? It's not going to happen. So they have clear definition. And they don't grab everybody, but they grab the people who want perfect. Here's another great example of someone who stands out. Denny's Beer Barrel Pub in Clearfield, Pennsylvania. I got to tell you, Clearfield, Pennsylvania, not a huge place. But Denny's Beer Barrel Pub is so incredible that people drive miles to come to Clearfield specifically for Denny's. He features a 10-pound burger. And if you can eat it in 3 hours, it's free. And people come from miles away to try to eat one of these things. Now, do they only sell 10-pound burgers? No, they sell regular burgers too. But this is the thing that grabs people. This is the exaggerated story. See, first you have to be a story, and then you have to tell your story. So how could you exaggerate to get famous? What could you do to create the world's biggest, smallest, fastest, slowest, longest, shortest, something to be a story? First, you have to be a story, then you have to tell your story. And Denny is one sharp guy. He wanted to get in the Guinness Book of Record for the world's largest hamburger. So he cooked up a 123-pound hamburger to get into the Guinness Book of Records. He dubbed it the main event charity burger, and he auctioned it off for $379 donation to a local charity, and he got covered with local TV, local newspaper, because he became news. What are you doing that is worth talking about? Now, I promised you a little bit more about the almost famous Alive and Well warehouse boutique. Sorry about that, a little Canada Dry to stay humidificated here. There's a new word, humidificated. So we sold Cooper Canada. I accidentally got into the ladies' fashion business. I had no experience with ladies' clothing. I'd never bought ladies' clothing, never sold ladies' clothing. I'd never even worn, well, a couple of times. It was Halloween mostly. Ladies' clothing. So I sat down and I thought and felt what it was like to be a woman buying clothing. And I didn't go in a mall. I rented warehouse space at about $8 a square foot rent instead of $100 a square foot in a mall. And I created a destination. And here's some of the things that we did to grab people, to clearly differentiate us and make us famous. And turned out voted Canada's outstanding innovative retail business of any kind by Retail Council of Canada. Honest savings every day of 25 to 40%. No games, no tricks, no lies, no marking up to mark down. Play it straight, do the right thing, honestly save people money. We had a choice of 7 free beverages. We had a big, beautiful mahogany drink counter with a choice of 7 free beverages, when every clothing store in the world had a sign on their front door that said, no food or drink, buzz off, go away, don't bother us, signed by the management. These stupid signs are always signed by the management. We're the management and you're nothing. It's your time and your money, but it's our rules, suck it up or get out of here. I mean, it makes no sense at all. It's just stupid. So we said, choice of 7 free beverages, just enjoy them. Electric reclining massage chairs for husbands and boyfriends. They loved it. Pirate ship play area for kids. I spent $54,000 to build a 28-foot pirate ship play area in the center of this 13,000 square foot store to get the kid off the leg. Because when I thought it through and felt it through, what I realized was that a lady cannot try on a pair of pants in a change room with a child laminated to her leg screaming to go home. You got to get the kid off the leg so she can try on the pants. And our competitor said, it's her kid and it's her leg, it's her problem. And I said, no, I want to sell the pants. It's my problem. I'll get the kid off the leg. $54,000 to get the kid off the leg. But I'll tell you, I walked by the pirate ship one day and I heard a 5-year-old say to his mother, Mommy, can we live here? Oh, I see my camera slip. Mommy, can we live here? So your business is different, I'm sure, but the question is always the same. Do our customers want to live with us? Do they want to keep coming back? Our customer washrooms, point number 5, customer washrooms had free diapers, diaper wipes, and cream for mothers with babies in distress. And our competitors came in and they checked that out and they said, Donald, you can't do that. The odd woman will steal a diaper. And I said, yeah, and God will get them someday for that. I mean, just like understands your customers have the creativity and courage to do what is necessary to create an amazing experience that grabs them, that differentiates you. And someone said, well, how much does it cost you in a year, the average year, to supply free diapers, wipes, and cream? And I said, I don't even know. I don't track it, because whatever it is, I would never stop doing it because it blows people away. And number 6, I already told you about this. That's just the amazing sign that made us truly famous on every change room. Please take as many items in the change room as you wish. We did lots of other things, but we've only got about 40 minutes here. We can't beat it all to death here. So once you've made these extraordinary claims, the next thing is, where's your proof? What proof do you have that what you're saying you'll do, you'll really do? And I've got 8 ways to prove that you are going to do what you say you're going to do. Not going to read them all now. Circle that slide, go back to it, and just go down the list and say, how could we use this? Like allowing them to experience themselves, which is like test driving a car or trying a power tool in a home improvement store, whatever. But little samples of some sort, whatever. Costco does sampling, and sampling, which is test driving a food product, for example, sampling it. It's surveys show that sampling a good product increases sales of that product, excuse me, by about 80%. Have to take another sip here. Anyway, circle that one and go back to it. Here's one of the most famous examples in the world about where's the proof. Beauty Rest mattresses have been famous for years for the bowling ball test. They put a glass of wine on one of their mattresses, and then somebody drops a giant bowling ball on the mattress right next to it, and the wine doesn't spill. I mean, that's a simple demonstration. It proves that what they're saying is that for 2 people sleeping in the same bed, when one of them's rolling and tossing and turning, it will not disturb the other person. So here's another homework assignment for you. What do our target customers value most out of all the different possible functional, emotional, and financial values? What do our target customers value most, and how do we score on delivering that value? Next homework assignment. 3 steps to delivering this compelling value that we're talking about. Step number 1, define yourself by how you help your target customers, not by what you sell. One of the biggest mistakes that almost every business makes is they define themselves by what they sell. When I do live sessions, full day, half day, 2 day, whatever, for chambers of commerce around the world, I stand at the front door, 7 o'clock in the morning, welcoming people as they arrive. Thanks for coming. What do you do? Thanks for coming. What do you do? Thanks for coming. What business are you in? Whatever. And people say, oh, I'm in hardware. I'm in software. I'm in underwear. I'm in tech. I'm a hairstylist. I'm a machine shop, whatever it is. Everybody defines themselves by what they sell. And what I urge you to do is to define yourself by how you help people. We are in the business of helping whom to do what, by doing what specific things for them better than our competitors. And then step number 2, list all the help they need in any way related to choosing, buying, using, or maintaining what you sell. Make a list of all the help they need. And then step number 3, deliver some of that help so wonderfully that you become the wise choice. 3 steps. It's simple. It's not easy. It's an extensive thought process. Get some of the best minds and hearts in your business together and go through this exercise. It is transformational. I've used the term a couple of times already, be the caring coach. It's such a great concept. What are your customers confused or stressed about? How can you take the mystery out of their stress take the mystery out of it and make their stress go away? The example graphic here on the screen is from Home Depot. when they seriously got into the carpet business a few years ago, they realized people didn't know much about carpet, how to choose carpet, and they knew less even about underpad. So they just did this 8.5 by 11 info coaching piece, put it on their website, printed them up, had them in the carpet department in the store, taking the mystery out of buying carpet, a helpful guide to an intelligent purchase. That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Taking the mystery out of buying carpet, a helpful guide to an intelligent purchase. So with regard to what you sell, products or services that you sell, what are the mysteries? What are they confused about? What are they stressed about? And how can you be the caring coach? That's what we want in our lives. Are we creating customers or fans? See, customers give us business. Fans help us grow our business because fans tell everybody they know about us. So are you creating customers or fans? Apple creates fans. Microsoft creates customers. Every time a new Apple store opens or a new product launches, people line up for hours. Hours. The only time people lined up for Microsoft was to return Vista. How do you know when you have fans and not just customers? Fans actually use the word love. In conversation, they go, I love you guys. I love my iPhone. I love my iPad. I love my whatever. I love you. What do people love you for? And part of that will be emotional value and gratitude, joy and gratitude. It sounds corny, but it's fundamentally human and it's so powerful. Joy and gratitude. Before COVID, I would fly 150 times a year around the world, and I'd go through airport security, sometimes twice, 3 times a day. And I don't think that's a fun job. And I'm the self-appointed global vice president of joy and gratitude. So I would try to make the folks, the security folks at the conveyor belt where they have to x-ray everything, make them laugh. And they'd point to my pocket and they would say, do you have anything in your pockets? And I would say, no, my first wife got everything. And they laughed. And so I made them laugh. Maybe the first time that they've laughed all day in that job. And sometimes I'd go through that same airport a month or 2 later, and they'd remember me because I made them laugh. They'd say, oh, look, there's the guy whose first wife got everything, and they laugh again. And then once everything has been x-rayed and I'm on my way to the gate, before I leave the security area, I turn to them and I say, thank you for keeping us safe. And you know what they always say? Nobody ever thanks us. And I say, well, they should. And off I go. Joy and gratitude is so incredibly powerful. So what specific things, another homework assignment for you, what specific things do customers love you for? Define your business by how you help. So here we have a tool, B13, circle that one, go and look at that. This will help you, this whole process, define yourself by how you help. What kind of help do they need? How do we deliver that help better than our competitors? And then effectively communicate your compelling story. There's no point in being the best if you're also the best kept secret. So many clients say to me, oh, we're the best kept secret in our market. And I say, well, how's that working out for you? It's just nuts. How do we communicate? First of all, recognize that everything we do communicates. And are you communicating the right message in everything you do? Look at this, American aviation. Learn to fly here, just like us. I mean, get the plane out of the tree. It's bad for business. This is not Photoshop, folks. This is an actual picture, real picture of a situation. So American aviation, learn to fly here, just like us. And I got to tell you, the plane that has crashed into the tree is not really a good communication. But everything we do communicates. Train your eye to look at everything in your business. Now, here's the simple truth about communicating your compelling value. When we deliver clear and compelling value, compelling communication should be easy. This company makes swimming pool covers, not the prettiest, not the cheapest. It isn't about pretty or cheap. If you have a swimming pool and you're buying a pool cover and you have small kids, what's your stress about the pool cover that you're about to buy? That it's a piece of crap and the kids will walk out on it, fall through, and die. Just cut to the chase. That's reality. Well, this company makes really strong pool covers. And that's their compelling value. Not the cheapest, not the prettiest, no way. So how do they communicate their compelling value? They rented an elephant. This is not Photoshop. They actually rented the elephant and put him out on the pool cover and took his picture. And in case you're wondering who makes the strongest swimming pool covers, it's pretty obvious. The message here is clear and compelling. The message is this: as long as your kids weigh less than an elephant, they're okay here. I got to do something to fix this camera. It keeps moving around on me. As long as your kids weigh less than an elephant, they're okay here. And here's how it works with marketing and advertising. First, you get good and then you brag. Don't brag and then try to figure out how you're going to pull it off. Here's Boston Whalers, the unsinkable legend. That's their slogan. They didn't just slap that slogan on any boat. They redesigned how a boat is made. It's a double hull with rigid urethane foam in between, and the boat simply cannot sink under any circumstances. And where's their proof? They drive one of these boats into a marina. The guy picks up a chain, stops the boat in the marina with everybody looking, picks up a chainsaw, and he cuts the front off the boat and drives the boat around. I mean, that's proof. So one of the first and most important rules in marketing and advertising is get good and then brag. Now, here's a great example of getting good and not bragging. This HVAC, heating air conditioning dealer in British Columbia, I've done a ton of work in that industry, and I discovered this guy. He won the Reader's Choice Award in his community 5 years in a row and doesn't mention it anywhere. Not on his trucks, not on his quotes, not on his website, nowhere. He's done the work to be the Reader's Choice 5 years in a row and forgot to brag. It's so Canadian. Oh no, I'm not going to make any fuss. Make a fuss, for Pete's sake. So what he ought to be saying, something like, 2019 Reader's Choice winner, we're proud to have once again won the Reader's Choice Award for our community. Thank you to all our customers, blah, blah, blah. But he should, this is what I coached him to do, but I left out, he should have said, I should have told him to say 5-time winner, because that's pretty powerful. And then what about your website? I have 2 graphics of websites here, and they're from auto repair places in Edmonton. So here's Caliber Automotive. Here's the owner, handsome, good-looking guy, and he's smiling at you. He's looking you in the eye. Edmonton's most trusted, independent Honda and Acura specialist. So he doesn't specialize in all. He's independent Honda and Acura specialist. He doesn't want everybody, but he really wants the ones that he has targeted. And he's most trusted, and he's independent. And this is what he's special. And then the money button, book an appointment today. The money button, bright green, it stands out. So there he is, looking you in the eye. And then he talks about below his services, the caliber difference, location, and a map. This is brilliant. Here's his competitor in Edmonton, Butcher's Auto Service. What the heck is this? It's some desks with nobody sitting at them. Come on over to Butcher's Automotive. We fired everybody, nobody here. By the way, do you want to buy any used office furniture? This is absolutely nuts. Effective use of print media. Some people say, oh, print media is dead today. It's not. And here's a guy in Gravenhurst, up the highway from you folks, Gravenhurst Plumbing and Heating and Electric. Chip is the owner, and he has takes the same little spot every week in the local newspaper, and he does Chip's Tips. He's being the caring coach. 2 keys to winter indoor air quality. And he's got all these tips that he's created. They're on his website. They're in these ads. And he has become the caring coach, and he has this consistent little ad, tips. It's brilliant. Social media and internet marketing. For good or bad, the general public are now powerful partners in managing your brand. So circle this one, go back. I'm not an expert on social media and internet marketing, but I know it's one of the most important and profitable things you can do well. So how can you improve your website? Search, well, I could do a whole session on how to improve your website. Search engine optimization. If you're not up at the top in search engine pages, you don't exist. Google and other ratings and social media. And if you don't know much about social media, like I don't know much about social media, hire a young person in their 20s to do it for you. You don't have to know, you just have to find someone who knows. And then what are your Google ratings? I love asking clients, what are your Google ratings? And they don't even know. Some of them say, what's a Google rating? It's one of the most important things you have. So I love this one. It's just 5-Star Lawn Care is the name of the business. So get that, 5-Star Lawn Care, that's their name. But they get just 2.3 stars on Google. So, 5-Star Lawn Care, it really should change their name to 2.3-Star Lawn Care. Effectively communicating your value, next business tool, B16, circle that one, go in, download. And now as we wind this up, so what's the bottom line impact of increasing your sales? And this is such a powerful slide because nobody actually thinks this or believes this until they see this slide. The math of increasing sales by just 5%. So let's say you increase sales by 5%. What's the effect on your bottom line? And a lot of people say, oh, well, 5% growth on the bottom line. No, 43.7. Here's an example. Sales, I use $1 million just because it's a nice round number. Sales were $1 million. We increased them by 5% by doing some of the stuff I've talked about, and sales increased to $1,050. $1,050,000. 65%, I've chosen 65% cost of goods, 35% gross margin. There are the numbers. Operating expenses stay the same, but by increasing sales by just 5%, the pre-tax profit grows by 43.7%. This is called leverage. It's so powerful. Small improvements in pricing or sales make a huge, huge difference on your bottom line. And here's the one that nobody talks about. This adds between $52,000 to $70,000 to the eventual value of the business when it's sold. Because businesses sell for a multiple of earnings. And every time you increase your earnings, you increase the price that you will eventually sell the business for. So you get paid up front, you get a 43.7% increase in profit. That's getting paid up front. And you get paid down the road because you are going to get more money for the business. Homework. 4 specific things we'll do to increase sales by what percent in the next 6 months. Make a commitment. Maybe it's not 5%, it's some other number. 4 specific things. Talk to your team about who will do what, by when, measured how, to make it happen. So here's the reminder about the free tools again. Type into your internet search address bar, this donaldcooper.com YFBT. And if you'd like to sign up for my weekly 2-minute booster shots, my free management blog, Straight Talk Management blog, go to our website, donaldcooper.com, and click on the blog button and sign up for the blog. And if you would like my Vision Critical Guide, this one is not free. You can go to the same donaldcooper.com, click on the Vision Critical Guide box, and for $24 only, you will get a PDF of my 34-page Vision Critical Guide that will help you rethink the future of your business and your bottom line. Last slide. There is no finish line. This is the one that I always use at the end of every presentation. This was the original Nike slogan years ago. They changed it to just do it. But I like this slogan. There is no finish line. This is a journey, a passionate journey, a profitable journey if you choose. There is no finish line. And that's it for this session.
Well, that was great. I was chuckling along as you were speaking. There were some really great points. Thank you very much. What an interesting presentation, and an old school kind of which always worked way about approaching business and growing your wealth, which is great. So we're going to proceed to some Q&A. I don't have a ton of questions in. I think mainly because people were paying attention and not necessarily typing while we were going. If you hit stop share at the top of your screen, Donald, that'll eliminate that off your screen. There you go.
Thank you, Kerry.
Just like a pro. So, anyways, Donald's going to stay late too if we need some more time to answer some questions. Presentation's a little longer than we normally have on these webinars, which was great because I loved every minute of it. As I mentioned before, I always had Cooper helmets, so the strength of that brand was amazing, and there was an emotional attachment to that equipment. You always refer back to it, and I can't tell you that there's probably anybody that grew up in my era that didn't have something from Cooper. So you talked about a lot of different things. Some of the questions that are coming in are relating to, what are we doing during this pandemic? So my biggest challenge now is that with no face-to-face networking, which it makes it hard to find new clients. My product is life insurance and financial advising. So, where a normal, traditional, sales method would be to get in front of somebody and understand what their life was about. How do you see people making that pivot these days?
Well, it depends on the type of industry. But if you're in the insurance business, then I think you need to do Zoom calls. Let me tell you the first most important thing about things like recessions or a pandemic, and that is that once we are established in business for any length of time, we need to have 6 months to 1 year's worth of cash or cash equivalent assets stashed away for a rainy day. I mean, our grandmothers all, if your grandmother's anything like mine, had wonderful expressions. Save some for a rainy day was one of my grandma's favorite expressions. And in these days of instant gratification, just make a little money, spend it all right away, save some for a rainy day. We all need to have 6 months to a year's worth of cash or near cash assets to get us through these times, because there will be these times. There will be, other pandemics. There will be recessions, and if we're living paycheck to paycheck in our business, then we have no chance of survival over the long term. So that said, when you have built relationships, trusting relationships with people, you can contact them by Zoom. You can have a great website. Whatever it is you need to do. The examples of how different businesses, restaurants and other businesses have pivoted during this time. Some just give up, and some say, how do we rethink? How do we reinvent ourselves? It's not easy, but the first thing that happened to us the minute we were born is we were held upside down, stark naked, and smacked on the ass. Now, what is it about a start like that that led us to believe everything's going tickety-poo from here on in? Life is about struggle. And so now one thing I talk about, joy and gratitude. The fact is that everyone is stressed out there, and it's a time for us to be even more joyful than we might normally be, because they need our joy, because it's tough out there for everybody. So it maybe is tougher for us to be joyful when we're suffering too, but that's what we have to do. And people will not forget that we uplifted them. My line is, whatever we sell, people come to us for that plus joy. And as goofy as that sounds, in a market that's overserved and under-differentiated, joy could be your sustainable competitive advantage.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, if you take it, I'm going to relate a couple things back to sort of the chamber environment, just because it kind of relates to a lot of different businesses. A lot of chambers sort of operate by the user base, 1 to 3, 5 to 10, and pretty much everything the offering is exactly the same. It doesn't matter, what it is that your business is, you're going to get the same thing. And my belief is that we need to make a differentiator there. We need to classify businesses and offer different things, because everybody comes to the chamber for different purposes. We've got viewers on today that are here to watch you speak because they're trying to get motivated, but we have bigger businesses that aren't going to take the time there. They want to have an aspirational value to it. So understanding where your value is and where you need to be positioned within your market is really important to create that space. So that was really good advice and something I firmly believe.
Don't be unique, be compelling.
Right. Yeah, and that's a big difference. So one of the questions in here is about reassessing value. So they listen to your advice, Donald. They say, yeah, you know what, you make sense. I got to make some changes. So how do they get started? How do they adjust their marketing communications? And do they do that sort of slowly, or do they launch a big campaign to rebrand? That could be costly. So what's your advice on that? I think you talk quick and you have quick thoughts, but I don't think you do anything without being deliberate. So is there a time frame that you generally would advise?
The process starts with, as I said, defining yourself by how you help. We need to change the mindset, because when we define ourselves by what we sell, our focus and our passion is how do we sell more? And people don't want to be sold, they want to be helped. They're looking for caring coaches. And in every part of their lives, business and personal life. So define yourself by what you help, so how you help, and then understand your target customers. What are they trying to do when they give us money, when they buy the product or services that we sell? What are they trying to do? Functionally, emotionally, financially, what are they trying to do? Then, what do they need or want to know about us and about the specific product or service we sell? So what are they really trying to do functionally, emotionally, financially? What do they need to know? And that's where the caring coach comes in. How do we coach them, help them? And sometimes they need to know stuff that they don't want to know, but we got to have the courage to tell them. And then how do we deliver that? And the Alive and Well story is so powerful in that I knew nothing about the ladies' clothing business, and that was such a huge advantage because I had no unlearning to do. It's the unlearning that's tough. Unlearning the stuff that isn't working anymore and we didn't notice. Unlearning the stuff that never worked and we never noticed. And so I had no unlearning to do. I sat down and I thought and felt what it was like to be a woman buying clothing. And I thought, what do they hate? What ticks them off? The no food or beverages, limit 3 items in the change room. The washrooms are not for customers. Marking up to mark down, all the tricks, everything you try on in a clothing store. The salesperson says, it looks perfect on you, darling. It looks beautiful. It was made for you. Another thing we did to make sure that our staff served customers wonderfully in the customer's best interest. We had a big sign right inside the front door. Every customer saw it. First thing they saw when they walked in the door, it said, our staff are not on commission. They treat you this well because they love what they do. What's every woman's biggest fear when she walks into a nice clothing store? These salespeople are all on commission and they're lying through their teeth. That's reality. No. Our staff are not on commission. It says so right here. They treat you this well because they love what we do. And then we made sure that we treated our staff so wonderfully that they actually did love what they do. And so we differentiated ourselves so clearly. And women drove up to 3 hours to shop in that store. We had sales of $700 a square foot at a time when our competitors in malls were doing $150 to $200 a square foot, and they were paying all this huge rent, and I was paying $8 a square foot. I created a warehouse boutique. And people say, you're either a warehouse store or you're a boutique. You can't be both. Well, I wasn't smart enough to know I couldn't be both, so I did. And so it was the process, sitting down and thinking and feeling what it's like to be a customer, and then saying, we're going to help them. What kind of help do they need? How do we deliver that help? And it's simple, 3-step process. As I said earlier, it's not easy, but it is simple. So just a mind shift.
Yeah, I think definitely a focus on people, process, and product are the catalyst for any business. You got to believe in what you sell, and it's got to be good. You need great people around you, and you got to have processes that work and take inefficiency out of your business. So great steps, obviously, to move yourself forward for sure.
Yeah, not only world-class value, but world-class operating efficiency as well.
Right.
There's 2 areas in which we need to be world-class. World-class value for our customers and world-class operating efficiency internally. And people say, well, I'm a small business, or I'm in Barrie or something. I don't need to have world-class operating efficiency. Yes, you do, or there will be no bottom line. I just read a little blurb because I work in all these different industries, so I read lots of stuff. The average independent furniture store in Canada has a 3% bottom line after tax. 3%, that's all. You know how easy it would be for that 3% to disappear? That's pretty fragile, but that's reality.
Yep.
So, operating the store efficiently, the warehouse efficiently, delivery efficient, whatever it is in the case of a furniture store, world-class value, world-class operating efficiency. Other than that, you're a boring, about to be bankrupt commodity.
Exactly. So in your mind, from a marketing perspective, I think I get the feeling that you believe in a lot of organic, word of mouth. If you create a buzz is going to help you. But for a small business, what percentage of their cost should be spent on marketing and communications?
Boy, it depends so much on the business model. People talk about 2%, 5%. But treating the customers you have so well that they tell 6 other people. And the reality is, in today's cynical times, what we say about ourselves, nobody much believes, but what others say about us is gospel. But certainly get good and then brag. The examples of the Boston Whaler, of the pool cover people, get good and then brag. People often say to me, I have an advertising problem. And I say, no, you have a compelling value problem. You're not doing anything wonderful enough to brag about. Advertising is creative bragging. You can take a 2-year course on advertising. Cooper's 2-second or 3-second course on advertising is creative bragging. That's it. And first you get good and then you brag. So, but websites, I spend so much time on client websites from my business coaching clients, and it says things like, we aim to do this, we aim to do that. Nobody cares what we aim to do. They want to know what we commit to do. And one of my business insights is, in every business, whatever you do, stop talking about goals, targets, aims, and objectives. Internally, externally, stop talking about goals, targets, aims, and objectives. These are weak and wishy-washy words that impress nobody. Talk about commitments. Replace goals, targets, aims, and objectives with one word: commitments. We commit to do this. This is our commitment to you. People want to know what we're committed to, not what we aim to do. I had a coaching client in Winnipeg a couple of years ago that said on their website, we strive to be ethical. What the heck is that? I mean, ethical is like pregnant. You is or you ain't.
Yeah.
And so when you say we strive to be ethical, what you're suggesting to people is you're giving it a shot and you actually never get there. So talk about commitments. But anyway, websites. And by the way, a Facebook page is not a website. Oh my golly, it just drives me nuts. People say, we don't have a website. We have a Facebook page. It's not a website. And any website that does not have a lot of video these days looks like it's 10 years old. You need video. People have become lazy learners. They'd far rather watch a video than read a bunch of text. Lazy learners, it's just reality. And so, does your website tell a clear and compelling story? How many Google stars do you have? Or are you like the 5-star landscaping business that has 3.2 stars or whatever it was? I mean, it's just, social media and the internet is the best free marketing you can get. Now, it costs money to create a website, so it's not totally free. But there's such incredible opportunities through websites and social media. And most businesses, they give the creating their website to their young niece or a girl in the office or something. And it just ends badly so often.
Yeah. So that makes total sense. I got another question here. It's a little, you just have to bear with me as I sort of get through it. But we're in the service industry that has been hit relatively hard. We followed health protocols and shut down completely, but others in our industry did not. So this has caused some confusion among our loyal customers, and most have waited for us, but some others not. Can or should we use this in our social media, website, and sales? So the fact that they took a safer approach, is that something that they should be bragging about? I think that's
absolutely
the flavor of the question. Yeah.
Here's what we did, and here's why we do it. And use the word commitment, because of our commitment to the word commitment creates great confidence. When we make commitments, we create confidence. When we deliver on those commitments, we create trust. So first you create confidence, and then when you deliver in a cynical world, you create trust. So yeah, here's what we did. It was a tough decision, but it was the right decision. And that kind of thing resonates with people. It really does.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you there.
We look forward to welcoming you back. So
Exactly. So I'm out of the formal questions that we have in here, Donald, but you know, I was listening to you speak. There was a number of different things, and a question sort of popped up in my mind. When you did that retail warehouse, the clothing warehouse, and you allowed people to come in with as many items as they wanted to, was there any difference in your shrink? Did you find that there was a...
We put a security tag on everything. We're nice, we're not stupid. I'm not asking anyone to be stupid.
Right.
But nice work. See, all the stores in malls or is freestanding who have the stupid sign, limit 3 items in the change room, you crook. They never finish the sign, but we know what it means. Limit 3 items in the change room. They also put security tags on everything. So they have a security tag on everything, but they limit you to 3 items in the change room. So what they're saying is, because everything we do communicates, what they're saying is, we don't understand you, we don't trust you, and we don't even like you, but we do want you to spend money here. It's obscenely stupid. It's obscenely stupid. And so And the other, like, oh, the odd woman will steal a diaper. I said, we got that covered. We don't let odd women in our store. I don't even know what that means. We all need to lighten up. We all need to lighten up, because whatever we sell, people come to us for that plus joy. And the joy and gratitude are magnetic. They're absolutely magnetic. So people said the pirate ship play area, $54,000. But the kid said, Mommy, can we live here? And our competitor said, that's a waste of space. I said, no, it's relationship building space. And so all these things, but our staff are not on commission. They treat you this well because they love what they do. We were the only store in the world that did that. And we made sure it was a great big sign right inside the front door. There's no point in being the best or having some differentiating things and keeping it a secret. So the first thing you saw when you walked in the door. We also had baby strollers. We had 8 baby strollers, because I noticed a lady in the parking lot trying to get a tandem stroller out of the trunk of her car while her 2 little kids ran around the parking lot, maybe going to get run over, and the mother was freaking out. And I said, we need to have strollers. So I called Perego, who were the best strollers at the time, and I said, I need 8 of your finest strollers. I want 6 singles and 2 tandems. And when can I get them? And we had them just parked right inside the front door. So you didn't have to struggle to get the stroller out of the car. You pick up your kid or kids under each arm, walk in the door, plunk them in one of our strollers. Now, we even put security tags on the strollers, because Perego strollers are expensive. And women were pushing their kids out the door in our stroller. And so we put security tags on the stroller, and they beeped if they tried to steal our strollers. But they absolutely loved it. And when you buy Perego strollers, which was the top brand in the world at the time, everything we do communicates. So what we're saying is, we have bought the best strollers for you, not the cheapest, to put your kids in. And so every little detail matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But it takes,
well,
it takes heart, soul, and passion. And if you don't have the passion for it, that's the universe telling you to get the heck out now before it all collapses around you. You have to love it. No one is going to love your business more than you do. Not your staff, not your customers. You are the source of joy and energy and passion in the business if you're the owner, leader, or manager.
I would agree. And business has to be fun, because it is fun. Everybody likes making money, so you may as well enjoy doing it, right? So for sure. Listen, Donald, I'd love to talk with you all afternoon. Unfortunately, we've got a bit of time constraint here.
No problem.
So I'm going to move us along to our closing. We have included your website and the information you discussed in your slides in the chat. So please
download the business tools. Download the business tools.
Absolutely, and save the chat. We talked about that before. Hit the 3 dots, save the chat, so that you've got that on your computer. So in closing, I'd like to thank you for joining us and for the work that you're doing in your business every day. We urge every leader in our community to continue their focus on slowing the pace of this coronavirus, no matter what stage of opening your business may be in. Both federal and provincial governments have enacted measures that will only be effective if all employers step up and do their part to protect our health and welfare. So the Chamber's here to help you. Please feel free to email or call if you need something more. We implore everyone to please shop local. We need more now than ever to support our local businesses. Even though Canada United is over, and it was last weekend, it was a very successful weekend, you still need to be out shopping locally. If you're ordering from a restaurant, go and pick it up. You know, it's going to put more money in their pockets and help them to employ different people. So we have Donald coming back on September 17th for another webinar. These are just teasers, because I'm thinking that we're going to have a more elaborate Donald Cooper event at some time in the future, hopefully when we can meet in person. But the September 17th webinar is on accelerating clarity and profitability. So I think that's something that everybody needs to focus on these days, and something that often gets left out of your business planning, putting the profit first. So with that, I will close off the afternoon. Thank you very much, Donald, for coming. It was very informative, a lot of fun, and we will see you on the 17th. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Looking forward. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.